Hey guys, Foley Games here. In today's video I'm going to be showing you the new Eisendrache trailer. I understand I uploaded it last night, but I'm actually going to do a breakdown of this trailer in as much detail as I can. It might not be as in much detail as I want it to be because I'm doing this quick, but I will do my absolute best to point out everything we have seen in this new trailer for Eisendrache. So the first thing I want to point out is the fact that everyone has been pronouncing the name of Eisendrache wrong. Dempsey actually stated it's called Eisendrache. I hope I pronounced that right, I'm doing my absolute best, but yeah, we've learned something new straight away, basically. It's not actually Eisendrache, it's Eisendrache. So the first main thing we actually see in this trailer is the actual Iron Dragon, and as soon as the trailer opens it starts with this dragon sort of floating towards the camera. Obviously it's not a real dragon, it's just this symbol type thing floating towards the camera, and then it opens up into the rest of the trailer. Pretty good transition, but we were expecting it because the map is called the Iron Dragon, so we knew it was coming. Another thing that can be clearly identified from the trailer is the fact that Dempsey is actually speaking and narrating the whole thing. Well, obviously we hear some quotes from the other characters, but Dempsey is actually doing the narrations. And I did predict this, I did say he would play a main part in it, and he is doing the narrations. Obviously he's on the front of the poster, so we did see it coming, and I am glad that I have actually speculated towards it and been correct. Moving on from that, the first actual image we see is of the courtyard within Eisendrache. It's not very big, it doesn't look like, but we're expecting something like this. And then it does actually move on to show the gondola or ski lift that I was talking about in the poster. Yeah, we knew that was coming, but honestly it's cool to see it in action because we haven't seen the gondola added since I think it was Mob of the Dead. Then it advances to show the next part of the actual map, which looks like another sort of courtyard, but we have seen this in photos and stuff. We knew it was coming, but it's just nice to see an actual in-action photo of the map. Then the trailer once again moves into another part of the map that I don't think we've seen yet. Seems like quite a large area, maybe good for training, but obviously we don't know anything about it because we've only seen this tiny little snippet of it. It's still quite cool to see the rest of the map, but yeah, that is also in the trailer. Then the trailer actually moves into the pretty interesting stuff. What we see in the next, well, basically part of the trailer is some sort of room with like green computer screens all around. It looks a bit like some sort of Frankenstein scene, which a lot of people have said, and I do see where they're coming from because it looks really creepy and weird in that room. Moving swiftly on from that, we see what we were expecting the most, and these are the rockets or missiles that we've seen from Moon. Obviously they're not exactly the same as Moon, but having a close-up we get a good idea of what they do look like, and they are similar to the ones on Moon. I'm not sure if they're 100% the same, but they are similar. Also, at this part within the trailer, Dempsey also says something about advancing the German war machine. We don't know what this means, we don't exactly know what the German war machine is because we haven't really seen much. Maybe it is some sort of nuclear bomb, maybe it's some sort of monster that we haven't seen yet. But obviously this map carries straight on from the Giant, and I want to see what this Easter egg is and how it's going to all tie in together on Eisendrache. Then we see something unanticipated, to be honest. I didn't think we were going to see teleporters in this map, but there you go, there is a zoom up of a teleporter within the map, and that is quite cool because we had it straight from the Giant, and maybe the characters get there through teleporting through the Giant. We have no idea, but that's just pure speculation. Personally, I do believe that these four characters have travelled through the Giant, through the teleporters, and ended up in Eisendrache. But obviously we don't know yet because we haven't seen the full release of the map, but when we do I'm sure it will all make sense. And I don't know if we have discovered the whole Easter egg or Easter eggs on the Giant, but when we do we will all understand how it all links in together. Well, that is if we actually do find all the Easter eggs, because there's still ones in like Call of Duty World at War that nobody's found yet. Moving on from that, we also see another room with some sort of green balls. I think there's two of them in the room. It doesn't look very appealing, but either way we see these two balls and a big sort of globe thing in the centre of the room. I don't know what that is exactly, but it looks like some sort of technology that the Germans are using. You don't see much else in this room other than those green computer screens that we've seen in the other like Frankenstein-like room, but yeah, that's about it in this part of the trailer. Then the trailer proceeds to prove us all wrong by pronouncing Eisendrache as Eisendrache. Well, I think that's how you pronounce it, I'm just giving it my best shot, but yeah, you hear Dempsey say it and it does sound pretty damn badass. The trailer then proceeds to give us some gameplay action on the actual map of the four characters fighting the zombies and them climbing up walls and stuff like that, and it's just some cool gameplay that we haven't seen before in Eisendrache. The trailer then proceeds to give us some extremely annoying information about the new diesel punk robot that we saw in Origins. Obviously this has been returned from Origins and it is an absolute piss take to kill, but it looks pretty freaking cool in the trailer, I'm not going to lie. I am excited to see it again because we haven't seen it since Origins and it was one of the coolest things it added. But obviously we don't know what it's going to be like, how many it's going to be, all that kind of stuff. It's all speculation, but we do know they will be in Eisendrache. Then we see these electric ball type things that we saw in the other trailer that are actually killing zombies. I didn't see this come in, so I'm going to assume that it's some sort of trap that you can activate through the power. It is quite cool because I like traps that were used within the map because they are a great way to get rid of high round zombies. So yeah, that's quite cool about the new traps, and obviously we were expecting it, but it's still pretty cool to actually see them in action on the map. Then Richtofen proceeds to kick some zombies' ass with the SVG, but that's just some more gameplay footage that I think looks absolutely awesome. Similarly, Dempsey also states that it's going to be a suicide mission for them, and obviously these characters have been to many different places and they have, well, been suicide missions basically every single time, but this might end on something really weird. We obviously don't know yet because we haven't had the actual map, but it's going to be extremely fun to get this Easter egg and see what it does and all that kind of stuff. The trailer then goes on to show us our 4 characters once again in the map who we were expecting of Nikolai, Takio, Dempsey and Richtofen, who all have their sort of ranks that are displayed above their names when in the trailer, which is quite cool because we didn't know that beforehand. Then the trailer shows us the actual rocket or missile that is being launched, and it looks absolutely awesome. I mean, we saw in Moon that there was rocket launched then, but they didn't really have the graphical capability to give it like some really good graphics to make it look absolutely awesome, but now if you look at the trailer you can see it looks amazing. We then see some more cinematics of our characters and Dempsey holding what looks like to be the death machine. It looks like a new variant to be honest, but it's absolutely awesome they've added this back in because it's one of the favourites of all people of zombies back in Black Ops. When they first added the death machine it was absolutely badass and devastating to everyone. Then we see the launch pads, which are exactly the same or similar to the ones that we saw in Moon back in Black Ops. It is absolutely amazing that they've added these back because these beasts were absolutely hilarious to use. I mean, I've died a hell of a lot of times on them, but I'm sure you guys have too if you've played the map obviously, but using them is an absolute blast and I'm sure everyone's going to love using them again in Eisendrache. We then see the monkey bomb, which is obviously going to be in there because, well, frankly it's coming on straight from the giant and I was expecting the monkey bomb rather than the little Arnies or whatever they're called in Shadows of Evil. So yeah, the monkey bomb is back in and it looks like a different colour, but it's still essentially the same monkey bomb. The trailer then continues on to give us some more information about the new weapons that are going to be added into the map, and the first one we see is a Sparrow from multiplayer. It looks pretty much the same as a bow and arrow with an explosive tip on it, and we have seen the crossbow with explosive tip, but never an actual bow and arrow, so it's quite cool that they've added this in. I'm assuming it's going to work pretty much the same as the Specialist as in Shadows of Evil and in multiplayer, but it's just cool that they've added something like that in. The next thing we see is actually the Wonder Fizz. I wasn't actually expecting this. I mean, I've seen it in trailers, but I didn't really know 100% that we would have it, but now we have a guaranteed gameplay footage that it is going to be in the map. And when we saw it in Origins, it was pretty damn cool, because it's basically, it works like a lucky dip. You put some money in and you get like a different perk out. It could be crap, it could be amazing. Obviously, it varies every time, but it is cool that they've added it back into Eisendrache. Then we see some sort of new trap or specialist thing that we haven't seen before, and it's basically electricity coming from the ground, killing all the zombies around Nikolai, I believe it is. And we haven't seen this before. It's quite cool that they've added it. It's just speculation, but this could be a new trap or specialist. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it will be a trap, to be blatantly honest with you, because we haven't seen a specialist like this in multiplayer other than the Tempest, but we haven't seen a direct weapon of the Tempest. Then we see some more cinematics of the map and the new trap which is going to be added. Obviously there might be more than one trap, but this is one. It's like some sort of cage door that comes down and sort of slices zombies as they go through, but that is absolutely awesome, to be honest, because we knew this was a castle, so I was going to expect something like this. I mean, we saw this drawbridge in Call of Duty Ghosts that came down and could obviously kill people, but now they've added it into zombies. I think it's going to be extremely useful, as traps always are useful on those high rounds to get rid of those high round zombies. Then we see something else that is absolutely awesome, and it is the dog type thing that came out of the wall in Mob of the Dead. In this case, it's a dragon, which we were expecting because it is the Iron Dragon in fact, but in Mob of the Dead, basically what you had to do was feed zombies to these dogs basically coming out the wall, and you got like a tomahawk at the end of it, and it was absolutely awesome because you could just throw it and it killed zombies for you and it came back to you. I don't know if we're going to see something exactly like that, but I really hope we do, because the way it's been designed in Mob of the Dead, it was absolutely brilliant. And if they've done it the same way, just with the dragons as like a retexture type thing, I think it'll be absolutely brilliant. Then we actually see something extremely unexpected in this map, and that is the gravity spikes. I had no idea this was going to be added. It doesn't seem like something that would be used in zombies, but obviously this is some sort of facility that the Germans have been using to design new technologies, and maybe they have invented the gravity spikes, and maybe you can get them through some Easter egg or just pick them up, something like that. But it is extremely cool that they have added them, because the gravity spikes in multiplayer are absolutely devastating, and I think they're going to be amazing in zombies, because you could take out a full wave. As you can see in the trailer, it is absolutely awesome the way they all just sort of blow away from the gravity spikes. Finally, the trailer ends with another cutscene of the Iron Dragon coming out of the wall screaming, and obviously we don't know what this means. It's going to be like the Tomahawk type thing we saw in Mob of the Dead, but obviously we're not making any guarantees because it does seem similar and it does look the same, but I don't know if it'll have the same purpose. Maybe they'll get a different weapon at the end of it, but either way, the trailer just ends with this dragon thing. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and peace out.